So this is something a person who didn't experience something traumatic, they cannot understand this, right? So why are we talking about it? In your relationships with your kids, partners, work areas, communities, they cannot see this if they didn't experience this, because this is unnatural. Disconnecting from your body, disconnecting from you is unnatural. So why this disconnection is playing a role with these inadequacies? And how is this disconnection playing a role through these inadequacies? Right? So just a few minutes, I want you to explore that before I take you to the next slide. So these inadequacies, as I was talking about, how a person who didn't experience something traumatic, they cannot experience this because they're helpless. And your mind is thinking, why can't they understand me? Why can't they support me? Why can't they do something about me? And if you are fitting into the so-called normal life or the normal relationships, and when there is this disparity or when there is this lack of connection, so you not only have lack of connection to the other person, but you're also disconnected from your body and from yourself. Have you anyone experienced that? Did anyone experience this in your lifetime? Thank you. Right? So can you now see the role of this inadequacy? As much as we want to deal with everything as a situation on its own, like a bad relationship or my children are not listening to me or any of those things, but they're all focused on this simple aspect of something, a decision that the mind has created as a result of that experience, and also it disconnects itself from the body and from you. Where there is no connection between you and your body, and you also have no connection between you and the other person, can you now imagine the struggle of this mind to stay in this place? Are you able to see this? There is nothing to hold on to. Right? So some show of hands if you are able to comprehend this, because this is more, we are going into some details. Thank you. All right. So now, how this inadequacy affects you? So here we are not talking about a specific problem. We are talking about the mind that has created a void because of these traumatic experiences. Through that void, what is it continuously seeking is someone to fill it, someone to understand it. And now I'll connect the dots to the spirituality of it. So as a result, the inadequacies are playing out as bad relationships, poor health, lost relationships with either siblings or friends, or you are also focusing on not only just with your intimate relationships and close relationships, this disconnect as a result of the inadequacy, it also plays a role in your careers and in your workplaces. Because for you as an individual, you're thinking, this is my family, which is my inner circle. This is work, which is outer circle. However, for the mind that has been through these traumatic experiences and holding on to the memory, it's the same. The mind does not have a distinction between a boss, colleague, employer, husband, children, mother, parent. It does not have the distinction. Did you get this? Are you all with me here? Right? So what I want you to do right now is, whether this is not going to be a long-term solution, but let us experience this one for 1 minute. Let us experience this. Can you step back and can you allow your mind to truly connect to you and to everyone around you? Whatever that means to you. So step back and allow your mind, irrespective of the void, because the void is common, whether you had a traumatic experience or you didn't have a traumatic experience. But right now, can you take the decision to allow your mind to connect to your body and to others around you, be it your partner, parent, child, workplace, colleague, community. Can you allow that mind to connect? And if there is any fear, any resistance, any rejection coming up, I am not lovable, I should be alone. If anything else is coming up, show me a hand. And just allow your mind to connect. And through that connection, I want you to feel safe. Right now, trust and safe are the two things that the mind will drop when it had a traumatic experience. Trust and safety. So right now, as we are together, all of us on the screen, I want you to connect to your own mind and body and to others. And I want you to connect in your mind. You're safe. Right now, you're safe. I want you to connect with safety and trust to others. Whatever happened in the past, maybe violence, maybe abuse, maybe something traumatic, maybe something catastrophic. Whatever happened in the past right now, I want you to give that permission to your mind to connect to your body and to others with safety and trust. Collectively, as a group, give that energy and give that permission to connect to yourself and others with safety and trust. Thank you. And if you could do that, just show me a hand. And if you find any resistance, you didn't want to do that, just let me know in the chat box. I couldn't connect. Thank you. So now, if this is this easy, why are we not finding that peace quicker? If this entire solution is in just this, allowing the mind to connect with safety and trust, then why is it not happening quick for us? Any thoughts, anyone? Why? If it is this simple, because as a structure of the mind, it is really this. But what is stopping you? There is fear, there is memory, there is mistrust, and not wanting to get hurt again. What if that happens again? These are all the reasons. But if you observed, the common thread is an assumption. Can you see that? It's an assumption. Can you see that, everybody? Can you see that? It's an assumption. So you're assuming this will happen. Can you see that? So can you now see the fear? Your fear is an assumption. Now I will ask you to step back, and I want you to take one decision right now in this space. I want you to take a decision. If you can let go of the assumption and take a decision to work based on facts, because this is a temporary solution to move forward, but I want you to take the decision right now. Be with me. And I want you to take the decision. Can you take the decision that you can start working on facts as of today, not facts as of yesterday? Can you take the decision? It's just about taking a decision. You don't have to act on it. You don't have to do anything about it. You're only planting a seed to your mind to start working based on the facts of today, not wanting to recreate the past, because that will never happen. The past, that how I was prior to this traumatic experience, you will never get that back. A person, whether you experience trauma or you didn't experience trauma, you will never get back your past self. Will you? Anybody here? Will you ever get your past self if you step out of the emotion of the trauma or no trauma? Will you ever get back the past self, a body of 20, a mind of a teenager? Do we ever get back? No, right? So I want you to right now be with me here. And I want you, if you're longing, and again for me, before I go there, some show of hands. If anybody is longing, like, I want to get back my old me. Anyone here? Show me a hand. I want to get back how I was. Thank you. Yeah. So if that's a pattern somewhere, or I want to get back to the way we were, either in relationships or with children or anything else, or a way of life or eating, if that is there somewhere in your thinking process or your patterns, right now be with me. And is it possible to release that hook from that nostalgia of recreating and revisiting that past? Because right now, here in this space where you're absolutely safe, this is something you should accept. You should allow your mind to accept that you cannot recreate the past. Take a step back, and can you accept that? You cannot recreate the past as nostalgic as you want to be. Could you accept that? Could you give that, plant that thought to your mind? Thank you. There's some chats coming in. You want to be a new me? Carol, you can only find a new you with an understanding. You can never get back who you were. So before we get on to this journey, thank you. Before we step any more further from here, Carol, I want you to think that you are going to find a new Carol who is free from that memory of the past hurt, but that Carol will never be the one who she was. Is that clear? Are we all on the same page here? Thank you. Thank you. Can you now release yourself from the nostalgia of the past? Again, another assumption that I would have been a better person prior to that. Maybe not. Thank you. So right here where you are there, my only effort today is to see that you can at least see that you can free yourself from that hook of recreating the past or being that person prior to that past hurt or a past traumatic experience. Thank you. All right. Thank you. So now, if you stay in that decision, I want you to stay in that decision that you cannot recreate your past. We are all now okay with that, right? We are all not longing to recreate the past. We are not trying to do that. Thank you. So now that you planted the thought in your mind, I want you from here to start observing anytime if your mind is going there to experience the past, a lost relationship, a lost physical features, a lost innocence. Who am I prior to that? If your mind is taking there, can we make a commitment to each other today as a group that we will free ourselves from that assumption? Commitment? Can we all make a commitment? Thank you. So that requires a skill, and which I teach in my method, which is very simple. You must have heard it everywhere: observation. So now again, today, collectively, 41 of us, can we make one more commitment that whenever the mind is going to that point of recreating the past, can we again make a commitment that we will bring us back to the facts of today? Is a commitment, all of us collectively? Thank you. Thank you.